So let's get started with the power shopping. So when we do talk about power shopping and cutting your cost, this is a big part of how you keep everything down. Overall, when we get real busy and we get tired, we don't have time and we just kind of just buy things, right? I've seen my project manager many times when I look back over the stuff I'm doing, like he bought something because it was quicker and convenient, but that thing could have cost another 400 or 500 bucks overall. And if we do that across the job and we just take that approach across the job, it's always going to cost us about 5 to 10K extra. And we really can't afford to add 5 to 10K in expenses to our job purely because we don't want to take an extra few minutes to go and really shop things out. Now, there is a level of when you power shop and you get too cheap and you're just, you become more of a, instead of being frugal, you become a cheapskate. So obviously, we don't want to go crazy with it, but we want to be thoughtful. What I see more often is people who are lazy about it and then, just kind of pay for the convenient stuff. I don't ever seen anybody yet get too crazy with being a cheapskate. But if you are super cheapskate, then there is probably a level where you're getting a little too crazy about it. That level generally tends to be when something's cheaper, but takes way longer or way more of your personal time to do. So like if you could get something at Home Depot for $100, but if you had to get in your car and go personally pick something up and deliver it that you got for 90, probably wouldn't be worth saving the $10 between your gas, your time and everything. It'd be better to have Home Depot deliver it or, be free. So we're always thinking about that. Now within Home Depot, and this is where we love to shop because this is where we get a lot of our stuff. And this is where, we're finding a lot of discounts within Home Depot. Having a managed account is going to be the first play of getting a good savings. And you guys are, well, as we're working with me, you can use my managed account. If you're not from Maryland, then you can get your own managed account, and the managed account is going to cut you cost and help you save money. So that's always going to be pretty good. So we're always within Home Depot trying to get the best savings. That's one way. The second thing is you're always looking for products that look overly expensive, but they're not. So there's some, like Samira used amazing tile in her bathroom that looked like this high-end hotel tile that, I've seen tile like that for $8, $9 a foot before, but she paid $219 for it. So it looked really expensive. Anytime we get something that we pay like $1 a foot for tile up to $2 a foot and it looks expensive, then we've done a great job because, and a lot of times just laying the tile in a more custom pattern can make it look more expensive. So don't ever want to get caught. One of the big mistakes if you hire a designer who doesn't understand flipping is they're going to get, oh, you got to use this tile. It's so beautiful and it's $6 a foot. You can't afford to pay $6 a foot if you can get something almost close that's very similar for two, right? We always have to keep our costs down. We always have to find sales. Samira did a great job on that. She had a couple things in her house that like a few people were like, that's upgraded. And I think her backsplash. And we were all like, oh, I think she spent some money on that. And then she was like, nope, I spent $2.19 a foot on it. So like we were fooled, which means people out there who are looking at her house are fooled. And that's what we want. We want stuff that looks like we broke the bank, but we didn't. So it's really going to be key to everything you're doing, right?
Hey, Mike, the bathroom tile was 187 square foot.
Oh, awesome. I see it now. It's 219 now, however. Did you get
Oh,
it?
did it go up? I got it at
Oh,
Floors and Decor,
all right, so
Gaithersburg.
you can actually get it cheaper there, but this is
Yeah.
actually, Samira, thank you for that because that's actually a great example. Like, so I know I can get it for 219 at Home Depot, or I can go get it for 187 at Floor and Decor. However, Floor and Decor for me is quite a hike, so I'm probably going to go ahead and pay the 219 because Gaithersburg is a solid hour drive for me, and it means I'd have to send someone to pick it up. So this would be an example of like, yes, I could get it cheaper, but I'm not traveling over an hour away to get it. If they deliver and I can make it work out that way, maybe I would consider it because I did find a lot of cool stuff. So, and another good lesson from this is that essentially what she's talking a little bit about is having the ability to shop a few different places, right? Not being so like pigeonholed into just everything has to come from one place. So we are always looking for the best deals we have. 1 second. Let me put everybody on mute. If you guys can make sure you're all mute, it would be great. So we're always looking to shop, find the best deals, but within reason. So I think that was just a perfect example of like when I wouldn't try to save 30 cents a foot and go to Gaithersburg. But if there's somewhere local that's no different, maybe going to a Lowe's versus a Home Depot, because sometimes Lowe's will have an end cap sale. And that's something else we look for, by the way, is the end cap sales. A lot of times Lowe's has a handful of products they use as what they call loss leaders. And they essentially will sell these products for a loss. And they're leading you in the store by selling it for so cheap because they know when you come in and buy tile, well, guess what? You're going to need backer board. You're going to need thin set grout and tools, spacers, all those things are making much better markup on. So there's going to be a couple products that they sell at a huge discount that looks really nice and they sell like, and they're probably losing a little bit of money on it even because they know you'll buy all that other stuff that they make good money. So we want to always be familiar and take a look at what looks really cheap for the money, because there are things that effectively you could be buying in Home Depot for less than what they're paying for it if you're very strategic about your shopping. And you can certainly go to Home Depot for one thing, go to Lowe's for another, go to Southern Sales. There's always going to be discount places around town, and they're always going to have a couple things they're selling cheap to kind of like either offload it because they're trying to get rid of it. Maybe it's a closeout sale. Maybe they're just trying to bring people into the, kind of suck people in. That's always kind of the battle that Lowe's and Home Depot does against each other. They're always going to try to get contractors in. So there's going to be certain things that each of them are cheaper on. So like people know that you can get certain stuff really cheap. Wood Floors Plus in Maryland is a really great example of that. They've got flooring that's just outrageously cheap. So when you can get it, it works out really well. So it's pretty cool stuff. With that being said, all you have to do is just keep looking for the best deals.